this time they want the equations, okay? So I know that my parent is y equals sine x. And I'm doing x because it's in radian mode. So then I go, what's the amplitude? Let's see, top to middle, 1. Okay, so 1. Hump to hump, it does, even though it starts in the middle, I like hump to hump because it's easier for me to read it. Oh, and actually that was hard for me to read it. So then top to top, I can't really see the top. So I will go middle, see if it's going up. So this middle, going up. Oh, this is sine. That's the parent function. So that's done. Now, I want to show you, what if I asked you and said, no, it's not sine, it's cosine. Okay, what's the amplitude? 1. What's the period? Same, hump to hump, 2 pi. But the difference is the hump, when it's cosine, is supposed to be there, but it shifted to the right. It looks like it shifted to the right, because that would be halfway, pi over 2. So this would be x minus pi over 2. Okay. I could also say y equals cosine of x plus 3 pi over 2. Because it's a wave, it repeats. But let's just stick to sine. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's do sine. Amplitude. What's the amplitude? Top to bottom. Top to middle. 2. Hump to hump, or middle to middle, is pi. So it is half the distance. So then this would have to be a 2 because it is not a straight shooter. And the middle is exactly where it's supposed to be. So that would be done. What if I asked you for the cosine? Well, the amplitude is still 2. The period is still 2. But the difference is, if this is pi over 2, this would be pi over 4 because it's half. Okay? And so it would actually be minus pi over 2, even though it moved over pi over 4. Because if you set that equal to 0, that would be plus pi over 2 divided by 2 is pi over 4, which gives you that. That was a hard one. Let's stick to sine. Y equals sine, is it x? Yep, it looks like it. It looks like it's still radian. I don't know, honestly, I can't really read it very well. So this looks like, if this is 2, that would be 3 and negative 3, so that's the amplitude. I really can't even read what that says. Hold on, let me get my glasses. That was hard to read. It says 0.5 pi, which means 1/2 pi, which means pi over 2, okay? That means that from here to here is pi over 2. So if the period is 2, this is a hard one. So if the period is pi over 2, it's really doubled. So that would be 2, okay? Actually, I think that's 4. Okay. That was kind of a neat one. I actually don't like that one very much. Let's go to number 4. That one's really hard to read. Okay, let's do this one. So this is a good one. So sine, am I going to do x? Nope. It's in degree mode, theta. Okay, amplitude. The top is 5 and the bottom is negative 3. Oops. So it's not the same. The total distance is 8. So what does that mean the amplitude is? 4. Good. Hump to hump. So we have 90 minus 270 is 180. So hump to hump is 180. It's supposed to be 360. So it's half, but it's not a straight shooter, so that would be 2 pi. The problem is that it actually, let me put this in parentheses, the center, which is actually right here, moved over. Let's see, if this is 90, this would be 45. So why am I putting minus 90? Because if you set this equal to 0, you add 90, divide by 2, and that's 45. But the problem is, it shifted, because it's supposed to be, you know how this was 3 and negative 3? That's 5 and negative 3. That means it shifted 1 up, because normally it would be at 4 and negative 4 if I shifted that into 4. Okay? All right, let's do the last part. All they want is the transformations. So, anytime I see it's with the x, not a straight shooter, boom, horizontal, translation, right 2. Okay? What would be this one? Vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Okay? That means it vertically stretches, which is your amplitude. Let me show the difference there. And then x over 2 is the same thing as 1/2 x. Okay, well, if it's with the x, it's horizontal, but it's not a straight shooter, so it looks like a compression. It's really a stretch by a factor of 2. And that's when we would go to pi over 1/2. Dividing by 1/2 is the same as multiplying by 2, which is 4 pi, which is widening it. It's a horizontal stretch. Okay? So what would this one be? Good. Vertical stretch by a factor of 3. What would it be this time? Vertical compression by a factor of 1/3. Okay? On your homework, if you write this, you will not receive full credit. I don't know what that means. But for time, you guys get the game, and it's easier to read my writing that way. Okay, what's happening here? Oh, it's being added. Is it with the x? No. If it was with the x, it would be in parentheses. So this is a vertical translation of 3, which means this one is a vertical translation up 2. And what's this? Horizontal translation, right pi. Okay. What happens when we have the negative? What does that mean? Reflection. Reflection over who? It's with the y, but it's a reflection. Reflection means the opposite, so it's really with the x. Okay. This would be what? Horizontal translation, not a straight shooter, left pi. When it's vertical, it's a straight shooter. Vertical translation, down 3. And last one. What does that mean? Reflection over the x-axis. What does this mean? Vertical stretch by a factor of 6. What does this mean? Horizontal translation, right, pi over 2, not a straight shooter. What does this mean? Vertical translation up 5. This should be a review. I just wanted you to see another form, and it's still going to do the same thing. Okay? And I think that's it.